Okay, let's move on to Minnesota Vikings at Baltimore Ravens, 1 p.m. Eastern. By the way, CMAC will be hosting our NCAA basketball show, which we're so excited about. It looks like it's going to be Monday to Friday and right at the witching hour before tip-off. And it's going to be Maxwell Smart and Connor Mack, which is going to be such a great combo. So CMAC, our host of college basketball here. Minnesota Vikings 3-4, 1-2 on the road. Ravens 5-2, 3-1 at home. We're at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. 56 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. This mini offense has been good. 270.7 yards through the air, 124 on the ground. It's their defense that has holes, allowing pretty much the same amount. 246.1 through the air, 120.9 through the ground. Baltimore's offense, 268.1 yards through the air. Very impressive. Their secondary has been so bad, allowing 296.1. But they go for 149.4 yards on the ground, and they only allow 86.1. This is a fascinating game, and I can't wait to break it down. Baltimore, Minnesota. Let's move over to the full game here. We have Baltimore opening up as 5.5-point favorites. It's either 5.5 or there's some of the dodgy books are hanging sixes. This total opened up at 50. It's now at 49.5 or 50. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have Baltimore with just 2,395 tickets in. 80% of the tickets on Baltimore, 70% of the cash. Then we have 55% of tickets, 68% of cash on the under. Vikings coming off an extremely disappointing 2016 loss at home to the Cowboys, who had Cooper Rush at the helm, with Prescott inactive due to the calf injury. Cousins 23 of 35 for 184 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Vikings just 278 yards against the defense that was allowing the second highest yards per play average in the NFL. Vikings converted 1 of 13 third downs. 8 of 12 possessions lasted only 5 plays or fewer. After opening the game with a 75-yard march and a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen, that's what gambling does to you. You imagine the people who got in on the Vikings when they were 2.5-point dogs or, dogs of any kind. Then they sit back and they feel like, oh, I beat the market. I had an idea that Dak was out. I saw the market move. I got in early. I beat this market move. It ended up at 4.5. And then they see the Thielen touchdown. They're like, look at me. And then you get stabbed in the larynx. And that's what this fickle whore sports handicapping will do to you. After opening the game with that 75-yard drive, they did nothing. Cousins was 23 of 35 for 184 yards, 1 touchdown. Thielen caught 6 passes for 78 yards, touchdown. Conklin caught 5 passes for 57 yards. Justin Jefferson did nothing, 2 catches for 21 yards. Dalvin Cook ran 18 times for 78 yards. They got 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. Xavier Woods had a pick. Daniil Hunter was hurt in the second quarter, and he will now miss the remainder of the season with a torn pectoral. Patrick Peterson, hamstring, was injured in the last game prior to the bye. He's going to be out at least 2 more games. Michael Pierce, elbow sat out for the 3rd straight game. I know that it works when we take advantage of what everybody saw the week before, but it's hard to believe this Vikings defense will, bounce back here. The Ravens come in fresh off their bye week, and we last saw them in a very disappointing 41-17 home loss to the Bengals. Lamar Jackson, 15 of 31, 257 yards, ran 12 times for 88 yards, sacked 5 times. Marquise Brown caught 5 passes for 80 yards. Rashad Bateman looks like the real deal, caught 3 passes for 80 yards. Their defense allowed Burrow to throw for 416 yards, a career high 416 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marlon Humphrey did get an interception, but the Ravens recorded just 1 sack, did get 7 hits on Burrow. Right tackle Patrick McCarry left in the second quarter with an ankle injury. Malik Harrison, linebacker, was treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries after he was struck in the left calf by a stray bullet during a gathering in Cleveland on Sunday. Cornerback Chris Westry has been designated to return from the IR. He'll help. They designated Derek Wolfe to return from the IR last week. This is an angry team in the Ravens. I like a team coming off their bye angry. And I don't know if the Vikings are going to be improving defensively as the season goes on. 5.5-point favorites is a tricky number, Bebsie. How do you move on this one? Vikings, Ravens, take it away.
Well, Jimmy, I'm glad you asked because I do have a play in this one.
Ooh.
And look, what do we know about John Harbaugh Ravens football teams? You lose going into the bye week. The Ravens have been great coming out of bye weeks under John Harbaugh. So you got to think, well, Ravens smash here. Minnesota looked awful last week. Their defense is banged up and not playing well. So why isn't this a 10-point spread in favor of Baltimore? That's why I'm not going to bet Baltimore, because this number's weird. And anytime it's floating around 5.5, and it's a game that one team should dominate at home, everything screams Ravens. That weird number says something's up, and I'm not going to do it. But what I am going to do is bet the over. There's a 48.5 at Pinnacle. I want it because the one thing I'm pretty confident in for both of these teams right now is the ability to put up points. I think Minnesota is going to put up points. Kirk Cousins, people shit talk him all the time, but he seldom has two bad games in a row. And the Baltimore Ravens coming out of the bye week, playing as well as their offense has been playing, and playing against a banged-up Minnesota defense, are going to be able to put up points. So I don't know where this is going to land. I think Minnesota could pull off an upset here. But what I am very confident in is this over.
I like the look. I like the look. Where are the Ravens susceptible? They're susceptible through the air. How do the Vikings hurt you? They hurt you through the air. I'd like just to go back to this Cowboys game and just remind myself what they average here through the air. Here it is right here. Cowboys were allowing 278.1 yards through the air, and yet, well, why were the Vikings unable to move the ball against the Cowboys? I'm still trying to. Now I stayed off that game, but I'm still trying to comprehend that. I don't understand.
Any given Sunday, Jimmy. You can have bad weeks, but Kirk Cousins doesn't put up bad weeks in bunches.
Well, let's get you locked in here with this over. What was the number that you saw?
48.5 at Pinnacle.
That's a nice number. What do we have? What are we hanging here at? Wow, 49.5 here at Bet365. Is Pinnacle? No, obviously I believe you, but I'm shocked that they're giving us a number that's that much lower than everything else. 48.5. So I've 49.5 right now at Pinnacle.
Yep, it has changed since we started talking.
Minus 112. And it's juiced. It's at minus 112. Big Roo says these are two most untrustworthy teams week to week in the league. Gerald Jones says Vikings terrible on third down. I'm going to pull up FanDuel and take a look and see if I can find a better number here for the over. So it's 49.5 at Pinnacle minus 112. It's 49.5 at Bet365 minus 110. I'm going to check out FanDuel right now. If you had a free – well, Braves are up 5-0. If you had a free play and look at Jose. Jose went up against two big bets here on our show because we had Ron Crawford and Taint play today on the Astros. If Jose is going to be able to sit here, and I'll be very proud of him. Bebsie, if you had a free play on the side at 5.5, what do you do?
Vikings, only because this number, something's not right. My brain says Ravens, my gut says Vikings, and I've been trusting my brain too much this season, so I think I'm going gut play.
Yeah, the 49.5 is minus 114 at FanDuel. So the cheapest is the 49.5 at minus 110 at Bet365. Do you want that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still going to take it.
Over 49.5 at minus 110 at Bet365 for Bebsie. I would like to take advantage of what everybody saw from the Vikings against Dallas, but I still got to figure out. I mean, I think that you nailed it with Harbaugh off of a terrible. I think it's great that they lost in coming to the bye. so they can question everything and worry about everything. Very, very tricky. I'm going to need more time to analyze this, but I imagine that this gets to 6 by Thursday. Isn't that where you expect the line to go, Bebsie?
Yeah, but I don't know why it's not there already. That's what weirds me out about this. And if you keep seeing money come in on the Ravens, but the line not moving, something's up.